For centuries, knowledge has been hidden in plain sight across the sands of time. Whispers of lost civilizations, cryptic symbols, and forbidden histories have been erased or concealed. What if the truth was never lost, but hidden? Welcome to Eye of Ancient Mysteries, where the past speaks and the future listens. Sit back, open your mind, and prepare to uncover the untold secrets of our world. Let the journey begin now. UFO crash cases on Earth. There is much evidence confirming incidents and crashes related to unidentified flying objects. Almost every day, the media report various accidents, incidents, crashes, and fatalities. And, of course, this also happens to UFOs, which belong to beings from other planets. The inhabitants of Earth have more than once observed UFO crashes. It has even happened that the bodies of the alien crew fell into human hands. But where are they? Are they hidden? Do they vanish into the underground laboratories of the CIA or the FSB? At present, it is unlikely that any ordinary citizen can give an exact answer to this question, although conspiracy theories abound. A UFO battle over St. Petersburg. One of the oldest records of a UFO accident is the report of a strange event which occurred on April 2, 1716, in the sky over St. Petersburg. The description was made under the direction of Vice Admiral Cruys by the Dutch envoy Baron de Bay during the reign of Peter I. The document is kept in the archives of the Russian Navy. The Baron reported, at 9 o'clock at night, with a perfectly clear sky, from the northeast appeared a strange dense dark cloud with a pointed top and a wide base. It moved at great speed across the sky, reaching halfway to the zenith in 3 minutes. At the same time, in the north appeared a second dark cloud, moving eastward. It flew toward the first cloud from the west. When these objects approached one another, for several minutes a kind of luminous column formed. Then the clouds collided with terrible force. A loud crash was heard, and at the point of collision a vast flame appeared, accompanied by smoke spreading in all directions. Rays of fire were also seen. Many smaller clouds appeared, moving with extraordinary speed and spewing bright flames. In addition, many bright lights appeared, reaching an altitude of 80 meters above the horizon. According to eyewitnesses, the event resembled a battle of fleets or armies and looked terrifying. The description also mentions that at that time, in the northwest, a huge shining comet appeared, which rose 12 meters above the horizon. The whole phenomenon lasted about a quarter of an hour. Around 10 p.m., the sky cleared again. The fireball crash, an equally striking case, is described in the chronicles of the French town of Alençon. In June 1790, a burning ball fell from the sky near the town, witnessed by many people. At that time, an unknown creature emerged from the ball and disappeared into the forest. Police protocols, based on eyewitness testimony, are preserved to this day. According to the documents, people were working in the fields when they suddenly noticed a huge fiery sphere in the sky, rotating as it flew toward the ground. The ball fell on the top of a hill not far from the field. From it a fire broke out, which the villagers extinguished. Soon the flame surrounding the ball also went out. The ball lay on the hill for a long time. People were afraid to approach the strange contraption. That same evening, suddenly a hole appeared in the ball, from which emerged a being resembling a human in an incredible silver garment. Seeing the people, the strange creature rushed away and hid in the forest. A few minutes later, the ball silently exploded and evaporated, leaving no trace that it had ever existed. The heavenly Flying Dutchman, a special place in the stories of UFO crashes on Earth, belongs to the incident in Aurora, Texas, which occurred at the very end of the last century. In this small town, an airship crashed, one that had been appearing in the skies over the USA and Canada for 5 months, 1896-1897. This mysterious silver craft, equipped with powerful spotlights on board, seemed to roam across America. The incident of the heavenly Flying Dutchman was an important event in the United States at the end of the 19th century. For the first time, this famous UFO appeared on the night of November 17, 1896, over Sacramento. Balloons were already common in those days, but the craft that Californians saw in the sky over the city resembled nothing known at that time. People had only balloons in the sky. It would still be 10 years before the appearance of airplanes and dirigibles. 5 days later, the strange craft again appeared over Sacramento. This time, the UFO was observed by the sheriff and the district attorney. The following week, the heavenly Flying Dutchman was seen in Washington State and over Canada. It appeared again in February 1897, flying over Texas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri. The craft resembled a cigar or spindle. It was silver, about 20 meters long, with powerful lights at the front. The only photograph of the heavenly phantom was taken in Chicago, but nothing can yet be said about the authenticity of this image. Soon afterward, the UFO crashed. Newspapers reported the crash on April 17, 1897, with the news coming from Aurora, Texas. A grave with a hieroglyph? This occurred one April morning near a provincial town in Texas. According to eyewitnesses, the craft seemed to lose control, struck a windmill, exploded, and burned. The dead pilot, recovered from the wreckage, was buried in the town cemetery. This was probably the first alien buried on Earth. According to newspaper reports about the incident, the body was severely mutilated. Yet it was impossible not to notice that it belonged to a being from another world. The alien's grave lies under a large oak at the southern end of the cemetery. A hieroglyphic sign found on one of the fragments of the craft was carved onto the gravestone as a name. At that time, people did not know about UFOs, and Americans proposed the most contradictory explanations for the phenomenon. Some spoke of a hoax. Many believed the craft came from the experiments of some mysterious genius inventor. Not everyone believed in the alien pilot's death. Americans continued to watch the skies in expectation of another phantom ship, but none was ever seen again. A downed UFO history also records cases in which humans shot down alien craft. One of the first such incidents occurred in the late 1930s, probably in 1937. In northern Germany, an unidentified flying object was shot down and subjected to careful study in military laboratories. Apparently, this very craft served as the prototype for the classic flying saucer designs that the Nazis constructed before the end of World War II. Disproportionate heads, visits of unidentified flying objects to Earth increased sharply after the end of World War II. It was during these years that the science of ufology was born. Its emergence is linked to the famous Roswell incident. On July 3, 1947, a UFO crashed in New Mexico. The remains of the craft, together with the remains of its crew, fell into the hands of American intelligence. Documents about the Roswell events describe the craft as a metallic ellipsoid about 9 meters in diameter. Navigation equipment was not found. It had apparently been completely destroyed by the explosion. According to some accounts, alien remains were discovered 3 days after the wreck was found, several kilometers from the crash site. The bodies were already in an advanced state of decomposition and had been damaged by predators. It is generally accepted that the Roswell aliens resembled humans, but had disproportionately large heads, no hair, and instead of a nose and mouth, mere openings. Explosion over Sao Paulo. A description of a UFO incident is also contained in one of the most respected reference works in the world, the Encyclopaedia Britannica. The article refers to the explosion of an unidentified flying object over Ubatuba, a suburb of Sao Paulo. This occurred in 1957. On that day, a group of fishermen, preparing to set out to sea, saw in the sky a shiny disk flying at high speed. Suddenly, the disk began to fall toward the ocean. But at the last moment before touching the water, it burst into flames and exploded. Some of the UFO fragments flew to the shore, where they were collected. The metal was as light as paper, and spectral analysis showed it to be magnesium with a special crystalline structure that is almost impossible to obtain on Earth. Magnetization. There is reliable information about UFO crashes on Russian territory as well. One such case involves a fallen UFO that occurred in January 1986 near the village of Downogorsk in Primorsky Krai. A UFO in the form of a sphere crashed into a hill. 2 explosions followed, along with a bright flame. Eyewitnesses compared it to welding. The sphere burned for about an hour. This fire completely destroyed the UFO. The UFO fall in Downogorsk caused magnetization of silicon shales in the disaster area, although silicon is generally believed to be incapable of magnetization.